Hi guys, I think we are live. So let's dive in. I'm going to be talking about the 5 lies that you've been told around alcohol. Now, this isn't a case that I stopped drinking and, I'm going to be someone on my soapbox and tell you that you have to live your life this way. But I just wish I knew some of this information a few years ago. Obviously, we probably all know it intellectually, but do you know it emotionally? And I'm all for people having different opinions to me and different viewpoints, of course. And some people out there can have the odd glass of wine and still feel fine, exercise, and perform at a high level. For the most part, though, I speak to a lot of very successful people that once they do remove it, they perform even better. And I'm all about high performance, or peak performance, whatever you want to call it. So if you want to perform better, you have to address these 5 lies that you've been telling yourself. Now, the first one is it helps me sleep. That is just factually incorrect. It doesn't. What happens is it sedates you, it knocks you out cold. That's why when you wake up in the morning, you feel like a dehydrated ball bag because you're hanging out of your ass, even just after a few beers or a couple of glasses of wine. So it might help you get to sleep, but you're not getting good quality sleep. It destroys your REM cycle, so which is rapid eye movement. This is imperative for recovery. So when you wake up in the morning and you feel really groggy and agitated and the children run in, you're going to feel a little bit worse for wear and a bit all over the place. That's why, because it actually knocks you out. It doesn't actually help you with anything. Now, the second one is it relaxes me. It doesn't really, it's a placebo effect. It's probably the habit that you're used to. So let's say you come home from work and you walk through the front door, crack open a cold one, pour it in, glug, glug, glug. Honestly, a lot of that relaxation comes from deep breathing. This is why a lot of people that smoke say smoking relaxes them. And they do that maybe 15 times. If you were to just focus on your breath, the difference that can make is incredible because we are mouth breathers by nature. So if you can incorporate some nasal breathing, some deep breathing exercises, and then what we want to do is we want to hack the habit. If you're, again, coming home from work, putting your jacket on the hook, putting your bag down, walking to the fridge, opening a beer, the only thing that I would advocate you change is replacing that beer with an alcohol-free beer. It makes all the difference. It tastes very, very similar. It looks the same as well. It's a third of the calories, and it's not going to make you feel like shit. So that's a win-win as far as I'm concerned. And the thing is, a lot of the time, it's probably a story that you're telling yourself. Some people tell me that they want to zone out or switch off. You're not a machine. If you are having stresses in your day-to-day life, whether that's with family, with your health, with your business, financially, on what planet is drinking alcohol going to help that? It's not. And you might think that it helps me escape. Escape what? It's not true. How do you feel the next day? You probably feel like shit. So it's just not factually accurate. Okay. Now, it helps me socialize. It makes me more confident. People say that I can't socialize without it. You can, because you have several times. If you keep saying that to yourself over and over and over again, it becomes an incantation. Therefore, it's become something that you believe, that you categorically have never operated any differently. And it's not true. It does not help you socialize. Socializing is a skill, and like any skill, this has been developed when you were sober. And when people say to me that it makes me more confident, it doesn't. I worked in hospitality for about 14 or 15 years. I would see very quiet people come in, then they would have a few beers, then they just become louder. This isn't confidence. Also, if you were to develop the skill of socializing and confidence while relying on beer, That's a false economy, I'm afraid. It'd be like trying to practice your driving test using an automatic and then going to a manual on your actual test. It's going to be very difficult. Would you not rather practice in the more difficult scenario to become better at it as opposed to developing false confidence over time? I know which one I'd rather do. You can get past this by using crystal clear and effective communication, which I'll touch on in a little bit. So the next one is, all my friends will disown me. They won't. Not your real friends. There's something that I invite all of you to do, which is the coffee test. The coffee test is, imagine that you're going through a difficult time right now and you need to ring a friend and say to them, hey, I'll meet you at Cafe Nero tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. because I need to talk to you about a challenge that I'm going through. How many people could you actually do that with? Honestly, if it is 10 people, great. But for most, it's probably 3 or 4. They're your real friends. The rest of them might be acquaintances, or they might just be drinking pals. When I did the coffee test, I actively sort of chopped out a lot of people in my life. I wasn't texting them and saying, that I'm never hanging around with you again. But I just became more and more unavailable for these big nights out. It did not align with who I wanted to become. And that's the key here. It doesn't matter what's happened before. Oh, but I've drank for 20 years. So, doesn't mean that you have to. Doesn't mean that you need to carry on. Who are you becoming? Is it in alignment with all your values and your goals? If it's not, then stop. Pretty straightforward, but not easy. Those two things are very different. If you use crystal clear and effective communication with your friends, they won't care. They might give you a little bit of shit to start with, but eventually they'll just stop. When people do give you shit and say, oh, fucking hell, mate, you're going to become a bit boring, double down on it and then add to it. Boring? You have no idea. I'm going to be in bed with a fucking cup of Horlicks reading a book at 9:30. Straight away, it disarms the bullshit. It's like the thing in bullying tactics in the schoolyard. Oh, you've got big ears. I know. I look like fucking Dumbo. Oh, where can you go from there? Now, the fifth one, the lie, is it's all about moderation. What tends to happen when I do my posts on LinkedIn is I'll get somebody that will say, but I drink alcohol, Adam, and I'm fine. Okay. Or I drink alcohol and I perform really well. Great. First and foremost, are we really aiming for fine? Secondly, how do you know if you haven't abstained for longer than 30 to 60 days and you pair that with other healthy habits? You don't know how good you can feel. And if you have done those things and you felt better, then why would you want to go back? It's usually fear driven. Again, what are the friends going to think? What if I become boring, etc.? The other problem with moderation is, as a blanket argument, it's too subjective. Unfortunately, everybody has got a different interpretation of what moderation looks like. Some people think it's 2 beers a night. You might go, no, that's not moderation. By your view of the world, but by theirs, it is. Some people have 1 beer a week. Now, 1 beer a week, 52 beers a year. 2 beers a night, 730 beers a year. They're very different. So saying I only have 1 a week and I'm fine isn't a defense for moderation. It's that you can do that. Fine, no problem. A lot of people can't, though. And even that 1 beer is subtly tripping you up. You don't even realize it. That's the problem. Now, these are some of the benefits that you can see just by taking a break over a 30 to 90-day period. And like I said, you have to pair it with other healthy habits. You can't just stop drinking alcohol and expect your whole life to change. I would encourage you to get outside more, to drink more water, to eat a little bit healthier, to practice some gratitude, to maybe introduce journaling when the time's right. But you don't want to do too much too soon because that's very overwhelming. So, in the interim, these are the benefits. You'll start to sleep better. Sleep is the most important part of our health. And if you don't believe me, you could go a day without food. You'd be quite hungry and you might get a bit of a headache. You can go a day without water and you'll have similar effects. You can go a day without exercise and nothing happens. Tell me how you feel after a day of no sleep. You're fucked. Or even if you have bad sleep, you're fucked. So if you can get it optimized, and I would recommend tracking it with an Oura ring or a Whoop band or a Strava watch even, doesn't really matter. Just so you have some rough data about what sleep you're getting, you'll be amazed at the results that come out of it. It'll make you feel more productive. You'll get more shit done because you won't feel awful in the afternoon once you have that inevitable crash of energy. You will have more energy throughout the course of the day, without question. You'll become a better partner because you're getting more shit done at home as well. You're not hanging out of your ass, so you're going to be more available for your children. Even if you don't have children, it might be that you take the dogs out, you take the bins out, you do the dishwasher, and you do the washing, all before, say, 8 o'clock on a weekend. That's a massive help to the household. So you'll become a better partner. You'll become a better parent. You'll be more present with your children. You'll be less agitated. You will be able to take them to football or dance classes or whatever because you're not hanging out of your ass anymore or unfit to drive, putting the pressure onto your partner. You'll save a load of money. If you're drinking 2 beers a night and then you stop, even after a month, you'll be saving quite a bit of cash. Compound that over 6 months, it's hundreds, if not thousands of pounds saved. It's unbelievable. Now, these are some of the more boring bits, but extremely beneficial. You'll lower your cholesterol levels. Your blood pressure will start to reduce. Your liver function will be better. The inflammation in your liver will subside and will start to go down. You'll have clearer skin. You won't have as many sort of blotchy parts of your skin or have the bags under your eyes and things like that. You'll become way less anxious. You won't wake up in the morning going, fuck, who did I text last night? What did I say? Why did I do that? What is wrong with me? You won't have that anxiety. You'll be less depressed because alcohol brings you up to bring you crashing back down. And you need more, and you need more, and you need more. And when you've hit that ceiling, you can't drink any more alcohol. You feel like shit. You'll improve your cognition enormously. You'll just feel more alert. You'll feel more aware of your surroundings. It's a big difference. You start to see the beauty in nature. You start to breathe in the fresh air differently. I could go on and on and on. The benefits are absolutely endless. So those are the 5 lies. Those are the benefits that you'll see once you stop. So ask yourself honestly, why am I doing this? Is this benefiting me in any way? Is this helping me move the needle? Is this getting me closer towards my desired end outcome by drinking alcohol? And if you can just take that 30 or 60-day break, you'll see all those benefits and then you can make the decision for yourself. So I hope you found that useful and we'll see you next time.